All right, everybody, welcome back to the Ugly Truth. We're on episode 4.
We are. We're rolling right along.
We're rolling along. That means people are here. They've tuned in since week 1, where we dropped 3 episodes, and you made it to the second week. Congratulations. That's great, because we have a fantastic episode that every single person, everybody, I don't care who you are. I don't even care if you don't have a butthole.
Well, I really do care actually about that, because it would be a horrible life if you didn't.
Well,
but yes.
Well, then you're taking a crap out of somewhere else, and we don't got to go there. But what do you do when you got to take a turd?
Boy, do we have a show for you. I think we've all been there. I mean, let's call it what it is.
When you're either in a horrible spot, horrible bathroom, or there's no bathroom, what do you do?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I was in a situation one time. I was in a bar in Westport in Kansas City, and the name of the bar, I'll even tell you what the bar was. It was America's Pub. I'll never forget this. I don't think it still exists.
If it does, I want to go just for the bathroom.
No. I was in there drinking with a bunch of friends, and man, my stomach started hurting, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. Like, it's one of those where it starts to bubble, and at this point things are going to turn wrong really fast. And so I'm like, I just excused myself, from the group, and I ran to the bathroom. And when I got in there were stalls all along one wall. But I noticed when I went in that there were no doors. And I'm like, well, this is the oddest setup ever. Now, it was interesting because I sat down because, like, seriously, the turd's coming. Like, it ain't waiting. I mean, it's about to flow. And I noticed that all the urinals were on the other wall. And so when somebody would go to use a urinal, they're facing away from you. But the genius who designed the bathroom put a mirror on that wall so that when a guy's standing at the urinal taking a leak, he's looking in the mirror and watching me take a crap. Now, I got to tell you, I really enjoy my privacy when you got to lay a turd. And if there were any other options at that exact moment, I would have taken them. But unfortunately, there wasn't. And I mean to tell you, it was like Mount Rainier blowing. It came out and it was loud. I had guys up there taking a leak at the urine. They were laughing. I even heard one guy say, "Oh, that poor SOB." I mean, yeah, he felt bad for me. And those guys knew. They knew as they're standing there pissing at me, staring at me too, because they're staring right in the mirror. They're like, "Oh man, I feel sorry for that SOB." Now it bothered me to kind of, but here's the thing. What was really bad is that when I was done and I went back out into the bar, every one of those guys that was standing at the urinal was out in the bar, standing around all their friends, and they're pointing at me. And I knew exactly what they were telling them. Oh, this guy was blowing ass in the bathroom, and we watched the whole thing go down. That was embarrassing because it's like, oh, great. The whole bar is going to know what I just did.
All the men are going to know why the bathroom is destroyed.
Yeah, but they're all telling the women. I mean, you're seeing everybody chuckle. It's one hell of a story to tell everybody. But that was one of the more embarrassing moments. And if I had to do it all over again, I probably would have gone outside.
Really?
Yeah, and looked for another business.
But if it's coming, then
you don't have a whole lot of time. But I got to be honest with you, Ev. I think I would have rather crap beside a car.
Wow.
I mean, there were a lot.
You're like talking some San Francisco stuff now.
Well, call it what it is, man. But that is have you ever been in a situation like that where it's dire? Like it's not, I mean, literally you're going to crap your pants. Like it's coming.
I mean, I was going to say, I've been in situations where you need to go, and then the bathroom is just, borderline just disgusting. And it's one of those situations. You got to sit down, you got to do it. You got to get it done. And you got to take the walk of shame afterwards and deal with the grub, if you will.
Yeah. It's horrible.
I'm still sitting here thinking about, why did they not have any doors on the on the stalls? I can't think of a reason.
So I actually found out what the answer to that is.
Oh, why?
It's because they had a serious drug problem.
Oh,
And
people
so they
yeah.
would go into the bathroom and sell in the stalls. So the bar, thinking they were doing the right thing, took all the doors off the stalls so that you couldn't hide. Well, by doing that, they left our asses hanging wide open. I mean, they could see everything. You know, it's like, look, if you're going to do that, take the mirror down. I mean, give me a break. You know what I mean?
Well, they got to, if the mirror's not there and they look over, somebody's in the stall, they're not going to look very long. So you need the mirror to ensure they're not going to do drugs.
Whatever, dude.
They got to watch you. They got to make sure.
Look, I wasn't going in there to get high. I was going in there to take a crap because there was some bubbling going on.
I bet you'd be feeling pretty high after letting that thing go.
You might have. You might have. Now, a buddy of mine that I work with, he was telling me that he was over, I think he said it was Italy or might have been France. And he said, Joe, I went into this bathroom and he said there were just literally holes in the ground. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. He said, I went in, I walked back out, and he said, no, I'll wait till the next stop. Yeah, I think so.
Some of those places, I remember being in Paris for a week.
Yeah.
In certain like restaurants and places, they would actually make you pay for toilet paper.
Yeah.
So buy and not just for a roll. They would charge you by the individual sheet.
Yeah.
So if you got a big one coming and you got no money, you're in trouble. You better have one of those. What's it called? That sprays out the water on your ass. And
a bidet.
Yeah, you better have one of those.
Yeah. Well, you know, here's the thing. Bidets creep me out. By the way, I'm going to throw that out there. They just
I think for America some reason should go full bidet.
Well, you know what? I'm not against them. I'm just telling you they freak me out a little bit. But I will say, you know, if you ever get into a situation where you don't have any toilet paper, that's a tough spot.
Because what do you use?
Well, here's my question to you. I'll pose a question to you.
Okay.
Yeah. What article of clothing do you use? Because you're not going to not do anything. Like you're going to do something. So what article of clothing do you say, well, I'm just done. I'm going to use it and it goes away.
There's a method to this madness.
No, there's no method.
No, hear me out here. Obviously it depends on where you are. If you're at home and you have no toilet paper, maybe that's different. Maybe you can find paper towels, you can find towels, you can find things.
Right.
Whatever, you'll make do. If you're out at like a restaurant.
Right. This was based on not being at home and there's no other paper products.
First thing you do is you call for help.
I don't know that I agree with that. Because I mean, it's embarrassing.
Because here's the thing. It's not your fault. It's not like it's your restroom. This is on the restaurant. If you have to use articles of clothing, my God, they better buy me a new shirt afterwards.
But who do you call?
Well, you're there with people, I'd imagine. Most likely.
Well, yeah, let's say you're on a date.
Okay. If you're on a date, this is what you do.
Okay.
You call the restaurant. They pick up the phone. You say, hey, so I'm in your bathroom. You know, no worries. But there's no toilet paper here. And they say, oh, we're out of toilet paper. Oh, you better provide me with something. Otherwise, I'm coming out there and I'm using the napkins on the table and I'm leaving no mercy. You need to let the restaurant or the place know that they need to provide for your hygiene, your cleanliness.
Folks,
you can't sacrifice your clothing, especially if you're on a date. Be like, sorry, I'm poopy pants now. We got to go.
Folks, I would just like to say that we've drank a lot of vodka tonight. And it's a very interesting take on the whole.
You don't agree with me?
No, I would absolutely wipe my butt with either my panties or my socks and be done with it.
Probably asking for help.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Look,
why?
Because so here's the deal. So if I'm on a
what
date,
if you're wearing some real nice socks?
No. I don't use the socks. I use my underwear. Because here's the thing. First of all, if I'm on a date and I use my underwear, now I'm going commando. So there's less to take off. right? So really, what have you lost? You lost a pair of underwear.
Not be able to clean up fully with a pair of underwear.
Why not?
I don't know. You run out of space.
A dry wipe sometimes hurts. So then the question is, do you dip in the toilet? The answer to that is no, because there's poop in there.
You can flush it first.
Ay.
Flush it a couple times.
Yeah, guys, this is taking a real bad turn. And for that, I apologize. I don't even know who came up with this subject, but it was us. And, but sometimes we got to talk about,
this is a real situation.
I've
had it happen. I was in the gym and there was none.
The truth doesn't get any uglier than this.
It doesn't.
This is the real deal. Yeah.
This is a real life situation. What do you do in this scenario?
Yeah.
One of these days, one of these listeners is going to have this happen to them.
Yeah.
And this is what they're going to think of.
Yeah, for sure.
This episode.
I think it'll happen to somebody, and God knows it happened to me. And listen, I've pooped outside many times. I mean, there's been times where, look, it's just coming and there just is no way to get away from it. And sometimes you just got to go. And sometimes you do have to use articles that you don't want to use, but at the same time, man,
I will say this:
you gotta clean it up.
Depends on where you are. If you're outside, this is a whole nother ball game as opposed to in a restaurant or wherever. Mm-hmm. If you're in a city, you're in trouble. I will say you're in trouble. If you're walking down the street, if you're on like a hike or something, or you're in a very small area, what you're actually supposed to do when you're out in the wilderness and you need to take a crap, you're actually supposed to dig a hole, kind of similar to your friend in Italy, where they have holes.
Yeah.
You dig a hole, you poop in the hole, you bury it.
Okay.
And I guess, you use whatever you can find, leaves, I don't know.
Yep.
Whatever nature provides for you.
Sure.
And you should be okay. That'll work, most likely. You're in a city, you better find somewhere that's hidden, and you better hope you don't get arrested. I'll tell you that.
I don't necessarily agree with you, Ev, because
Why?
I think in the city there's a ton of businesses that you could go in and use their restroom. And so I think you got a bonus there. Out in the woods, you're pretty safe. Yeah, you could dig a hole. There's a little work to it. Now, I'll tell you what, if for some reason you mistakenly wiped your butt with poison ivy, you got a plethora of problems.
Well, you better know what poison ivy is.
I can't even tell you how bad that is going to be. Okay. It's never happened to me. Matter of fact, I've never met anybody that's happened to, but I can guarantee I have had poison ivy. And to think of it on the old beehole back there, that is not good.
Okay? Right. So be careful.
There's no fixing it.
Be careful. Yeah, right. That would be at least a few days, if not a few weeks of pain. And it would make all future experiences while that pain is going on,
that's correct.
Future crops, it would make them miserable.
That's correct. And on that note, guys, we're going to end this episode because we are going nowhere good fast. So as always, that, my friends, is the ugly truth.
And if you liked this episode and you survived, make sure to subscribe because we got more episodes coming. And we shall see you on the next one.
Till next time.